The Mentalist, one of my favourite shows anyway. Detective stuff aside, and this is one of my favourite scenes from the whole thing. So, it's also been said that with the jazzy shirt and the hat, that I'm giving off a Ryan Doka vibe. I don't see it myself because that guy has luscious locks, and I am sadly lacking in that department somewhat, you know. Yeah. I'm explaining scenes from The Mentalist this week, or until something interesting happens. Oh, was that Ryan? Was that okay? I'm so sorry for the accent fail from the ignorant. So this is the scene we're looking at. Number of things going on already.
We'd never get that lucky. No, we're going to be talking to the hand for a long while.
Why so glum? Case is a case.
We're in the middle of nowhere. Windy as all hell. I haven't eaten anything.
You can see the differing mindsets that exist between somebody who is focused on something and somebody who is more observant than everybody else. You look at all of the policemen around there. They're all struggling over the stuff that's happening. And granted, this is a sensationalized TV show. We're looking at a breakdown of method. That's all. Sim Rigsby's attitude is already focusing on these little things. It's windy as all hell. There's the jurisdictional element between it being in Nevada or California, whereas Jane is already open to what's there. All it took is for Jane to start saying what he was seeing, for the things to start opening up more and more clearly. We're looking at a hand. Oh, there's nothing else focused. Jane observant. Well, we're looking at a white man, probably in his 50s, judging by the skin. Left-handed, because there was written on a right hand that had been cut off, so it's likely that he's left-handed to be able to write down that side. You start that off saying what you see, and it opens up a whole world of observational data that you can look at. I used to play this game with my students in training, and very much like the Whose Line Is It Anyway game props. My version of the game was called What is a Cup? And I would show them a picture of a cup and ask them to tell me what it is. So you get people going, it's a cup, it's a cup. Well, it's a coffee cup. Well, it's a big coffee cup, so the person likes to drink coffee because it's big size. You can put a lot in there. There's a flamboyant design on there, particularly of the Cookie Monster, this most recent one that I've shown. In the argument. So the person either has a flamboyant personality or some kind of connection towards the Cookie Monster, or it's been bought as a gift and they have no kind of direct connection. It's just served as a cup, in which case somebody's looked at the size and just gone to it that way. Already we get kind of personal inferences and connections. Where is it on the table? Well, it's on the right hand side, so the person was likely sat on the right hand side of the table. Which side is the handle pointing? With a point that it's pointing towards the left hand side, so you can make a reasonably induced observation that it was a left-handed person sitting on the right hand side, and it starts to break down this way the more you examine it, just by saying what you see. There was a TV show in the UK called Catchphrase that was on in the early 90s when I was a kid by an Irish. There was an Irish fella that used to present it called Roy Walker. And if any contestant was ever struggling with looking at this image and trying to come up with the catchphrase that was on it, he'd be like, oh, say what you see. And again, I apologise to all Irish people who may or may not be listening. Look at everything else that it will open up by virtue of that technique. So many people come to me and say, well, I can't do this, I can't see anything, I'm struggling to notice what's there. Yet you're seeing everything. You're too focused on what's going on in here rather than observing what's out there. You just need those access prompts to be able to do it. So when you look at everything else that he gets from the hand, getting down there to smell it, smells like a subscription. So the olfactory senses connecting towards a memory, and specifically the mnemonic practices that are connected to it, have been written about at great length, and I'm not going to bore you with them here. To take it back to something that you encounter that smells horrible, and you get that reaction. Yes, there's the immediacy of what it is, but then I would bet a body part like a toe on the next words that come out of your mouth are normally words to the effect of, oh, it reminds me of, or oh, it smells like this. If you're not actually, because you don't smell something and then go, I can smell the desk. you go, it smells like what it reminds you of, that connection, that memory, the passageway towards the access of that information is strong when you consider the olfactory methodology, which is why Jane gets on his knees, does the thing that nobody else wants to do at that stage, and takes a good old whiff before he gets bagged. In the tobacco, the done nails. So we've got a rich man there, we've got the tan line from the pinky ring. Now the pinky ring is one that is contextual. Right, the pinky ring on that state line between Nevada and California, yes, might signify a rich man, an extroverted soul in that scenario. Whereas if you look at some of the rich families in the UK, pinky ring is a signet ring. It's like a coat of arms towards a family crest. So there is a line of analysis that you can play there, and you could argue that Jane was well aware of that specific contextual understanding of the information, played the inductively reasoned observations in order to figure out that it was upper management in a hotel or gaming business. Because what other job prospect facilitates somebody wanting to moisturize their hands and have their nails done, because they interact with a lot of people this way around, so they want to make sure that they look good. They know it's a male, so it speaks to extroversion to a certain degree that way around. Right, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. And the finish one for me that always cracks me up is talking about Cho's a hidden jar of money that he's got in his room that he's probably been counting and hiding away since the age of 15. How do you get something like that? You don't necessarily have to get the hidden jar of coins. That is never confirmed or denied one way or the other. That's part of the show, leaving us to make our own conclusions and make it look like Jane got that one right. But what we know about Cho from that environment is he is the stickler for the rules. He is routine, prim, proper, following it as it should be. And we know this even before he says anything, from his tie that's done all the way up and his shirt that's tucked in. Such a way that would make Tan from Queer Eye proud. But this is the fundamental adherence to the routine that's been built into him from the military. Yes, he's got a criminal background and whatnot. These types of behaviours regarding the respect for rule abiding, etc., are built into people from a very early age, and which is why he left the criminal world of gangs to join the CBI. So there we are, guys. There's a breakdown of logic and the rational approach to a restricted element of information that you can use to really expand what it is that you're looking at. And next time you see a cup on a table, it should no longer ever just function as just a cup for you.